up everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video I'm working on a build in the world of Chestnut Ridge, which is the world that came with the Horse Ranch expansion pack, and it's actually been so long since I've built anything in Chestnut Ridge. When the pack first came out and when Chestnut Ridge was all new, I was obsessed with this world and I was having so much fun building here. And then after the hype kind of died down and I stopped focusing on like just Horse Ranch and going back to the other worlds, I kind of just never really came back here, and I don't know why, because I really like this world. I just never really built here anymore for some reason. So I really felt like building here and exploring this world a little bit and just doing a cozy, cute little ranch build in Chestnut Ridge. So that's exactly what we're doing here today. And it's only a small ridge. It's on a small lot. I think this is a 30 by 20 lot, if I'm not mistaken. It's in the more like downtown area of Chestnut Ridge. And it's a really cute little area. I really like this lot. I have used it before. I think I did one, if I'm recalling this correctly, I think I did a build here around Christmas time or something like that, or in the winter time at least. I think I did a little ranch type of thing here, and that was the last time I was ever in Chestnut Ridge to build anything. So I'm glad that we're back here, and yeah, so we're doing a small ranch. It's only small. It has 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and it's perfect for 2 Sims. I actually furnished this house for 2 adults. I furnished it for a young adult or an adult Sim living here with their parent who is an elderly Sim. That's kind of the storyline that we were thinking of. I was building this over on Twitch, and as I was doing the exterior, I wasn't really thinking of the people or the Sims in the storyline for this one, but as we got to furnishing the house and when it came to furnishing the bedrooms, I was like, okay, who are we going to furnish this for? I don't really feel like doing a kid's bedroom because there isn't really any kids stuff in the house. I mean, I could always add it, but I wasn't really feeling it for this build to like add children or toddlers or infants for that matter. You could, of course, but it wasn't really something that was speaking to me in the moment as I was building this house. So that's when I decided to do the second bedroom, not for a kid, but for an elderly Sim who has moved in with their child, and they're now living, just the 2 of them, in this little ranch. I thought that was so cute. I never really do that type of a household situation. I usually go for kids, like adults and children, but never adults and elderly Sims. So that's what I did for this one. And I think that's actually such a cute idea and such a cute storyline to play out as well. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. And of course I had to make space for a horse here as well. So yeah, we have a little horse stable and a small outside little enclosure thingy where the horse can just like kind of hang out. That's usually what I like to do when I build stables in The Sims 4 is I like to attach a fenced in outdoor space so the horse can just kind of roam free between the horse bed inside and also outside the fenced in enclosure. And then the horse is still kind of like enclosed and it doesn't roam free like just around the entire lot, which is also fun for gameplay purposes, but in my opinion, not just a little bit chaotic. I like to keep things just ever so slightly more realistic and just do a little enclosed outdoor space for the horse. So that's what I did for this one as well. I also put in a chicken coop. We have a tiny space here for farming purposes, so you can do some farming here if you wanted to. And of course you could have some like mini goats and sheep. I think that would be really cute as well. So that's something you could do. And yeah, that's all the Sims and animals that I was thinking of for this one. Also, this is a limited pack build. I wasn't really planning on doing a limited pack build at first, but as I was working on the exterior and pretty much almost done with the exterior, I realized I hadn't really used a lot of packs, so I might as well just try to keep it that way for the interior as well. And I really succeeded for once, because we only used, of course, Horse Ranch, then we used Seasons, Cottage Living, and For Rent. And the only thing I'm using from For Rent is some of the like moldy stains. It's not necessarily mold, but just like some of the scratches and things that you can put on your walls. That's what I used because I wanted the outside of this house to look a little bit more like weathered and just older, and like it could use a little bit of a paint job here and there. That's kind of what I was trying to go for, like the sort of vibe I was going for. It's not gross by any means. It's just a little bit of an older house, and I thought that was really cute. So yeah, I added some stains and things to the exterior of the build just to make it look, just give it a little bit more character, personality, if you will. But if you don't have for rent, you literally are only missing some of the stains, I think, and that's literally it. Maybe, I think I used like a vent, like an air conditioning little vent on the wall, but only one. So you would be missing that one, and you would be missing a couple stains. For the rest, it's literally only Horse Ranch, Seasons, and the chicken pack, what's it called? Cottage Living. So really not that bad. And also I think because of that, the price of this house isn't too bad. I think it comes in at just under 50,000 simoleons. So it's pretty budget friendly. If you have two Sims who have a little bit of savings, you know, that are not starting from scratch, because it's not a starter home by any means, but if you have a little bit of money, then I feel like it would be fairly easy to be able to afford this house in your gameplay, and that would be really cute. I could definitely, like, I'm feeling kind of inspired. I never have time to just sit down and do cozy gameplay other than just my Pack Legacy challenge that I obviously have here on YouTube, and then Not So Berry that I do on Twitch. But this has me super excited to just kind of sit down and hang out and create two really cute Sims and young adult and their elderly parent living in this house. And I was definitely thinking that the elderly Sim is the one that's into gardening. They take it very seriously. They go to the Finchwick Fair every Saturday to sell their crops, stuff like that. Maybe they're into baking or like making jam, stuff like that. I think making jam comes with the chicken pack as well, if I'm saying that correctly. So that is something that you could do as a hobby as well. And then I was thinking that the young adult Sim is the one that's into the animals. Of course, the parent, like the elderly Sim, is also into animals. You kind of have to be if you're living here, I feel like. But I was thinking that the young adult Sim is the one who is into horse riding, and they do competitions and they take that very seriously. I feel like they're really good at it too. And they win lots of prizes. Maybe that's even their job, to train horses. Maybe they work in the equestrian center. Is that what it's called? Am I saying that correctly, or am I making a fool of myself? I swear I know stuff about horses. I used to have a horse when I was young. I used to do horse riding and competitions and stuff, but like the terminology in English is kind of lost on me. I'm not super familiar with those words. If you didn't know, my first language is Dutch, so yeah, sometimes I just struggle trying to explain things in English, you know, sometimes it's just like that, especially for terms about very specific things, like niche things, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's kind of the dynamic in the household and this little storyline that I was thinking of for this one. And you can see that I'm just kind of working on the exterior here. I feel like I had a great use of space here. There's not a whole lot of space left on the lot. I filled up the space nicely, of course, because we have a little gardening patch and everything as well. So yeah, that's very exciting. And I was just playing around with some landscaping. I didn't really want to go too overboard with plants and stuff. I also didn't really have that much space for it. But yeah, I was just kind of liking what we had going on here. Just some plants and greenery and some rocks. Horse Ranch comes with some great rocks, which is pretty random, but you know, I like using rocks in my landscaping. So yeah, I don't know. I really enjoy the rocks from this pack for some reason. Also, I really wanted to place this trailer. I wish it was functional, but it's not. We don't really have cars or anything that are functional in this game. So the horse trailer is of course just decorative, but I thought it looked cute. We only have the horse trailer and not a car parked here. That might be a little bit random, but you can always imagine, like, these Sims probably have a car somewhere. It's just not parked right here. It's parked somewhere else, maybe in the town. I thought that could be a fun thing, kind of realistic. I still wish we would get cars at some point. I don't think so. I've kind of lost hope. What do you think? Do you think we'll still get functional cars in The Sims 4? I think at this point it's too late. If they were going to, I feel like they already would have given us functional cars. I'm not sure. I mean, they always could. The Sims 4 is far from over. I feel like, I mean, I don't know, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. So I don't know, they could still, but I've kind of lost hope. It'd be so cool to have functional cars though, and like create functional driveways and garages, stuff like that. I think that would be really fun. But yeah, I'm just kind of decorating here. We have this really cozy area. My favorite part about this build, I think, is the fact that the house and the shed are kind of connected through this little roofed in area. It's still outside, but it has a roof over top. It's kind of connected by a roof, to just put it more simple, I guess. And I think that just feels so cozy how the stable and the house are kind of connected. I think I was working off of a reference picture for this house, where I saw that type of connection like in the house that I was looking at. I think it was like a miniature house or a sketch of some sorts that I found on Pinterest that I was feeling a little bit inspired by. to try and create that little connected area with the roof over it. And I just think it turned out really, really cute. We have that side door that's going to be off of the kitchen. And then there is this this roofed in area leading you to the shed where we have the stable. I thought that was so cute. And then of course we have this front porch here where I had to put a rocking chair. It's only natural. This front porch is screaming rocking chair. So of course I had to place it. I am using a couple of items, or maybe it's just this one decorative wheel that I placed by the front door on the wall. I think that's from the, not early access stuff, but you know how sometimes you get this extra digital content, I think they call it, when you purchase or pre-order or purchase a pack before a specific date, you get a couple extra items. I think that is that decorative wheel. So maybe if you don't have that, then you would be missing that as well. But I feel like that's not really, you're not missing much. You could easily replace it with some different decoration, and then that should not be an issue at all. But we are moving on to the interior of the house, and I really like how this interior came together. I, for some reason, was feeling very inspired to use this green kitchen. I think that came out really nicely. I wanted to make this a little bit colorful. The exterior of the build is also green. I used a green paneling for the exterior. So for this one, I thought it would be cute to go matchy-matchy and kind of have the interior of the house match the exterior, which is of course kind of unrealistic, but in The Sims, sometimes it's just fun to do that and make it very cutesy in that sense. So that's what I was going for, and I really like this floor plan. I was definitely struggling with it a little bit at first because it is a very open floor plan. It's only very small, but still it's an open floor plan, and I tend to struggle with those a little bit. I am definitely still in my closed off floor plan era where I like to have little separate rooms for everything. But for this one, I don't really. We just have a closed off hallway space off to the left where we have, well, I actually turned that into a small office space. It's still a hallway though. It's a little hallway office, if you will. And then off of that hallway, we have the bedrooms and the bathroom. But for the living, dining, and kitchen, everything is sort of open here. And as you can probably tell, I was also going for a more moody, darker color scheme. Of course, we have the bright pop of color for the kitchen because that one's green. But then for the rest of the living room, I kind of went for darker, moodier colors, if you will, and I think that turned out really nicely. It's not something I do a lot. Usually whenever I'm using like a darker floorboard, as I'm using here, I like to go for a lighter wallpaper to just kind of brighten everything up a little bit. But for some reason, I just tried this dark gray wallpaper and I really liked it. I tried some lighter options, but it just wasn't speaking to me as much. So I decided to go for the moodier colors. I also really like the dark brown tile accent wall that I have in the kitchen. That one was really fun. It's not necessarily something I would pair together that fast, like the green kitchen and then the brown tiles. I'm not sure why, but it's just not something. It was one of those things that I kind of tried because I only had limited packs to work with, because of course that's what we're doing here. So I only had a couple of options, and that's where you are really kind of forced to be more creative and just kind of move away from your comfort zone and try different combinations of things that you normally wouldn't, to try and come up with something different, because you don't have that many packs to work with. So it definitely challenges, for me personally, whenever I do limited pack builds, it definitely challenges my creativity a little bit in that sense, and that is just always so much fun to me. And also, because this is a limited pack speed build, it's also not as overwhelmingly cluttered. It's definitely still cluttered because I wanted it to be very lived in and cozy, and we only had that much space to work with, so it wasn't a whole lot of space, so naturally everything is just kind of cramped looking. But other than that, it's not super cluttered or anything. I definitely have my fair share of decorations, and I'm going back to the kitchen in a little bit to clutter that one up a little bit more as well. That's something I have been doing lately for some reason, is figuring out the layout, placing the kitchen, and then doing the rest of the layout, and then going back to the kitchen later to clutter it up. It's so funny to kind of notice these things and how it kind of changes, because I build so much in The Sims. You develop your way of building, like the order you do things in, stuff like that. And it's funny to notice how that sometimes starts to shift a little bit. And I've noticed this shift where I just like to put down the kitchen counters and stuff and figure out the rest of the layout as well, and then go back later to decorate it and clutter it up a little bit more. Which is something that really works for me because it's nice to have the rough layout kind of out of the way and then go through and make it more personalized and add clutter and little things. So that is what I did for this one as well. I love how this kitchen came out. I know this is kind of embarrassing because I build so much, but I actually just recently activated Organize Debug. If you're familiar with the Better Build By mod, I have had that one for so long and I use it all the time, but I never really activated the Organize Debug section. And I only just recently did that and it opened up a whole new world for me. Basically, what it means is that the debug items are kind of organized in the actual catalog. So you'll find your little debug items in the appropriate sections of the catalog as if it were just like regular built by items in your game, which is super helpful because of course the debug menu is very cluttered and everything is just kind of jammed into one menu and you really have to scroll and find your items and it's a lot of work. But because I build so much, I kind of know my way around the debug menu and it's still a lot of work and a lot of scrolling and it takes a lot of time, but I'm kind of used to how it looks. So that's why I actually never activated the Organize Debug menu because I don't like it when my catalog changes and when I can't normally, like when I can't find things anymore, like where they used to be. Like I don't like that change. But I actually decided to activate it just recently and I'm so happy. It's such a game changer because it's so easy now to find tiny little clutter items that would look so good in your kitchens or on your dining tables. And normally I wouldn't even think of searching for those little items in the debug menu because it's just too much work for what it is. But when I'm just scrolling through the regular decoration clutter menu or section of the catalog and you kind of come across these things, it's so fun to just use them and it just adds a whole nother like layer of personality, I feel like, almost to certain rooms or spaces. And that's just so fun for me. So long story short, I'm just very happy that I decided to activate my Organize Debug and that I can find these little cute items that normally I would not have used because I would not go looking for them in the Clutter debug menu. So yeah, game changer. A lot of people have been doing this for years, but finally I also did it and I'm very happy that I did that. But yeah, we are decorating the bedrooms here. The main bedroom, I mean, both bedrooms are very small. The one with the double bed is supposed to be for the young adult living in this house, and then this is the extra bedroom that is actually really, really small, but it's perfect for just a single bed, and I tried to make it really cute and cozy. So this is for the grandparent, or for the elderly sim, I should say. I was thinking of a lady in this space and she likes to go on dates. We were kind of joking, you know how there's this old guy in the Chestnut Ridge world that buys your nectar I think he is in town a couple times a week or something like that, and he buys your nectar for a suspicious amount of money, and he's an elderly sim, and we were kind of joking on stream how this elderly sim, this lady, she goes on dates with him all the time, and that's why she has like a couple of roses in her bedroom because he gifted those to her, stuff like that. That's kind of what we were thinking, so I thought that was a cute little detail for the storyline that we were thinking of. And then this house has one bathroom, which is actually decently sized. It's a little bit bigger than my bathrooms usually are. So I have the space in here for some extra storage. We have some extra countertops here, and then of course a sink, a shower tub combo, and also a toilet. So just all your necessities, but I'm really enjoying the dark brown tile in this bathroom for some reason. It just goes nicely. It also matches the tile that I used in the kitchen, of course. So that was nice. And I don't know, I just was really enjoying this darker, more moody color scheme, but it still feels very cozy and warm and inviting. So that was the perfect mix of things I was kind of trying to go for. And then of course we have this tiny little back porch where I decided to place a 3-seater dining table, and I wanted to add in another little splash of color there, so we have the yellow swatch of that. And then I added some extra skill building items, a woodworking bench, a flower arranging table, and then that is basically going to be it for this build. So let's jump into the game and I'll show you the house in real time. So here we have the build in the game. I was kind of playtesting and I added some chickens. So we have a couple really cute little chickens. Oops, they're starving. I probably should pay a little bit of attention to my little chickens here. We also have some chickens just hanging out here. These are happy, so at least we have that going for us. Over here, of course, we have the little front porch. There is some landscaping going on. Then we have this cozy area in between the house and the shed that kind of leads you into the backyard like this. So over here is the shed. This is where the horse would go. We have the flower arranging table in here as well, and I just put some extra food in here, some water, and there's some food in the corner here as well. Then we have the rest of the backyard. It's only very small, but we do have this gardening area here, a woodworking bench, little picnic table, and of course the cozy back porch as well. And then over here, of course, we have the front door leading you into the house, and it's a nice open floor plan. We have my playtester sim watching some TV, so that's all functional. Of course, we have the living room set up here. I only use this small TV because I thought that was the most fitting for this house. I couldn't help it, but I put some fall themed cards on the console table. I know it's early, I know it's July, it's not fall yet, not by a long shot, but these cards completely fit the vibe and the colors were just perfect. And yes, I am kind of starting to get excited for fall. I know it's ridiculous, but that's just me. I love fall and I'm getting excited for it. I can't help it. Over here by the front door, we have the dining table. I had to kind of make up for the fact that I used autumn themed cards, so I put some summer themed cards on the dining table. There is some storage here by the front door and of course a coat rack. And then over here is the kitchen. It's not super overly cluttered, but it still looks very lived in. So stove over here, some functional counter space over here, and then on this side we have some more appliances, a sink by the window, fridge, microwave, and then of course the sliding door leading you outside. Through here is a small office space, which I feel like is very cozy. I had this perfect nook for a desk, so that's where I placed it with a small computer, of course. And then I also had to put in a bookcase somewhere, so I did that here. This first door leads you into the bathroom, which is very nice and simple, but I'm obsessed with this little sheep rug. I thought that was the perfect rug for the bathroom in this house. Over here is the larger bedroom. It's still very small, but this one did fit a double bed, which is actually accessible from both sides. And then there's just a dresser in here, a mirror, and some decorations. This room over here is grandma's room. I love the red in here. I know that the rug doesn't really go with the bedding, but I just liked that mismatched moment and I just thought it was really cute. This is where we placed her roses that she got from her dates that she went on. And there's also a cozy chair and a cross-stitching basket in here, so that's an extra skill building item. But that is basically gonna do it for this build. So this cute little ranch is up on the gallery, and as you can see, I only used For Rent, Horse Ranch. Horse Ranch shows up twice because I was using the Rockin' Rancher digital content in this one, like I explained, and then it uses Cottage Living and Seasons. So really very much a limited pack build. This house has 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and it comes in at just under 50,000 simoleons. I feel like that is really not that bad. And I built it on a 30 by 20 in the world of Chestnut Ridge, so if you want to place it in your game, then that is where it goes. But that is going to do it for today's video, so I really hope that you enjoyed this one. You can obviously go ahead and download this build off the gallery like I just showed you. My username on the gallery is Simmary Sims. You can follow me on Instagram and on TikTok if you'd like. My username on there is Simmary Sims. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so, and if you would like to get notified of every single time I upload a video, just click that little bell icon and you should be fine. I also live stream over on Twitch a few times a week, so if you're interested in that, go ahead and give me a follow over on twitch.tv/Simmary Sims. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!